Right, girls, the second video. In this video, I'm going to focus on the periodic table that I will be giving you will be one that looks like this. It's grayscaled, it's not colorful like the one that you get in your book. So that means you have to know some of the main aspects of this periodic table already. You can use this periodic table. I'm going to supply you with this in the test. However, you can see there's no color in it. So when we look at this periodic table, we need to be able to identify the three main groups. The metals, if you look here, there's a zigzag line going down, yeah? The metals are all the elements that are left of the zigzag line, and the non-metals are the ones that's to the right of the zigzag line. Then the third group of elements are the ones that are known as the metalloids. Now, when you start at boron for the metalloids, you can see that they sit tail to tail, all the metalloids. There they are. They sit tail to tail, and then I also have the ones that sit on the inside here, antimony, germanium, and so on. So you need to be able to identify the metalloids that are on this periodic table. Right? You also need to be able to identify the main features of the periodic table. Number one is you need to identify that the periodic table is divided into columns, which we call groups, and that it's arranged into rows that are called periods. You also need to be able to identify some of the main groups or the main features of this. So you need to name, for example, group 1, which is your alkali metals, and that is this group here, but excluding the hydrogen. Group 2, which is alkali earth metals. Group 7 over here, which are your halogens. And then lastly, group 18, or this is actually group 17, and group 18 over here, which is your noble gases. Then the other features that you need to be able to identify from this group is that we talk about representative elements. So your representative elements are elements that are what we call in the main groups. The main groups is group 1 and 2. So they are these elements over here. Then all the elements that are in this block here where the P block starts, that would be from group 13 through to group 18. So they are called representative elements. The elements that are between these groups, they are between group 2 and group 13. These elements from group 3 up to group 12, we call them transition elements. So if I ask you in the test tomorrow, what is transition elements, and you say to me it's the elements from group 3 to group 12, you are answering the question. If you tell me it's the elements between group 2 and group 13, you are also answering the question. So you can answer this question using the periodic table. You can answer most of the questions related to the periodic table by using it and referring to group numbers, to periods. Then you also need to understand the meaning of the symbols at each of these. Now, for this test, I've left in the states of matter, gas, liquid, solid, and synthetic. So I've left it in for you, but in your next test, even this is going to disappear. You can see metals, metalloids, etc. is gone. So for test tomorrow, this is going to be there, this key, but in the future, the key is not going to be there. So you also need to understand the meaning of everything, that it's hydrogen, it's in the gas phase, it's got 1 proton and 1 electron, it's got an atomic mass of 1.008, that it is a non-metal, etc. Okay, so everything related to the periodic table is going to be in the test tomorrow. I have used the vocabulary, all the vocabulary that I've given you. I've used all of them, or not all of them, but most of them in the column A, column B, and in your multiple choice questions. So please make sure that you download the student note teacher guide for section 1 and 2 for me from Edmodo, so that will also help you to study for these features of the periodic table. And girls, that's really all the test is going to be about. I'm sure, inshallah, that all of you are going to do very well in this test. Thank you.